Sky All-Star Angel Reese boarded a private jet, my goodness, for a postseason trip hours after missing Chicago's 91-86 season finale loss to the Liberty on Thursday night, as seen in a video on her TikTok page. Reese, who missed the Sky's final 3 games of the season due to a lingering back injury, in quotes, posted a TikTok video of her and her friend embarking on a getaway amid the star forward's strained relationship with the team.
The damage to her reputation may be the most significant casualty. Every time she chooses a fleeting moment of internet clout over a genuine commitment to her team, she erodes the foundation of respect upon which a lasting career is built. Fans, coaches, and fellow players are not blind. They can distinguish between an athlete who is in love with the game and an athlete who is in love with the attention the game provides. And in the digital age, the internet never forgets. This video will now be forever linked to her name, a permanent stain that can be weaponized against her anytime she faces adversity.
What's your whole thoughts on this Angel Reese situation, calling out her teammates, team suspending her, and now there's potential rumors that she may get traded?
Her expressing that the team needs to get better. What main players never said that before? We need to get good players and we need to go get great players. That is normal. And the fact that you are open to listen to trades, your team is done. That woman would not want to be there no more. And I can tell you right now, the other center that is friends with her, she's gonna want out. So
ultimately, this saga is a disservice to the WNBA players who quietly grind every single day, the ones who don't have Reese's spotlight but give their all for their teams. It reinforces the worst stereotypes that critics of the league hold, that it lacks the seriousness and professionalism of its male counterparts. When accountability becomes optional, the entire enterprise suffers.
Well, and we all know she wants the hell out of Chicago, I guess, after drowning her teammates publicly. It's weird. You want out, but you're the one that actually did it. Maybe she did it to find her way out of town. Maybe that was the master plan. But this hurt back is been, of course, under some scrutiny. Some people have questioned the hurt back as to maybe the back's just not that hurt at all. She just didn't want to play. She tapped out. She quit. However you want to word it.
Angel Reese likely believed that posting her dance video was a power move, a declaration of her own resilience. But what the world saw was a player whose priorities are fundamentally misaligned, someone more invested in her phone's camera than in her team's success. It didn't scream strength, it screamed a profound lack of self-awareness, and as she continues down this path, she risks becoming the WNBA's first true reality TV star, someone people tune in to watch for the inevitable train wreck, not for the basketball.
There are two. There is Angel Reese Jr., the pretend basketball player, and there is Angel Reese Sr., better known as Mama Reese, the professional clapping back at the haters. There is no denying the fact that Angel Reese on the court is a stat machine. Fantasy nerds like Mina Kimes, people who live in the world of make-believe, they love Angel Reese.
Meanwhile, Caitlyn Clark will continue to build her legacy. Brick by brick, highlight by highlight, one player is making history. The other is making hashtags. And unless there is a dramatic and immediate shift in her approach, Angel Reese will be remembered not for the championship she could have won, but for the controversies she insisted on creating. She won't just be no Caitlyn Clark. She will be a cautionary tale of talent squandered.
In second, she already threatened to leave, and in that same interview, she basically put the team on notice because she said, I quote, "I'd like to be here for my career, but if things don't pan out, obviously I might have to make a move in a different direction and do what's best for me." That's not a hint. That's a warning shot. She told the front office straight up, build a winning team or I'm out. I'm out. And when you put that statement next to her refusing to play, it looks like she's escalating. And the interview was step one. This walkout, this is step two, a power play to make things so messy that they have no choice but to trade her. And finally, just look at the injury story itself.
But honestly, Angel set herself up for it. You can't say you're too hurt to play and then
The WNBA just got the plot twist nobody ordered and found itself grappling with a controversy that had nothing to do with a box score or a highlight reel. The saga began when Angel Reese, the Chicago Sky's formidable rookie forward, was officially sidelined for the team's final game of the season. The stated reason was a lingering back injury, a diagnosis that implies limitations on sprinting, jumping, and the physical rigors of professional basketball. Fans expressed their sympathy, coaches offered understanding nods, and the league prepared for another game played without one of its rising stars. The expectation was simple. Reese would be on the bench, supporting her team, a portrait of a frustrated athlete eager to heal.
Wait, it's getting hot in here. It's getting hot in here, y'all. This is crazy. This is why this thing took a left turn out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. I have not, bro. This is supposed to be a professional league. Angel Reese, you telling me you refuse to go in the game for the Chicago Sky because they suspended you for 1/2? This is crazy, y'all.
That expectation was shattered just hours later in a move that sent shockwaves through the sports world. Reese appeared on TikTok, not from a trainer's room, but from a private jet. She wasn't grimacing in pain. She was the star of her own music video, breaking into an energetic dance routine. She was bending, twisting, and moving with a fluidity that seemed to directly contradict the back injury diagnosis that had kept her out of a professional basketball game. The digital world erupted. This wasn't just a plot twist. For many, it was a betrayal of the unwritten contract between an athlete and their fans, a moment that blurred the lines between rehabilitation and rehearsal for social media fame.
Story itself, yeah, the back injury is real and documented, but the coach said she reported the pain before the game. So if she was hurt enough to maybe not play at all, why was the plan all along for her to play the second half? Why wasn't she on the injury report to begin with? The story don't add up. The fact that the injury was announced right when her suspension ended is what nobody can get over. And it feels like a flare-up and more like a convenient excuse. And it's just wild to me. So what do you think? Was this a real injury with the worst timing ever? Or was this a calculated move by a superstar who's fed up and wants out?
The internet, as it is prone to do, became an immediate and unforgiving courtroom. Fans didn't just question the decision, they vehemently shredded her credibility. The accusations were swift and brutal, selfish, fake, drama queen. The incident provided a fresh wave of ammunition for critics, who creatively dubbed her the Brick Queen, a jab at her shooting percentages, and suggested she abandon her basketball career to become a full-time TikTok influencer. The jokes were as merciless as they were viral, with some quipping that her penchant for laying bricks would make her a prime candidate for a job at Subway. It was a masterclass in how to incinerate one's public goodwill in under 60 seconds.
Angel Reese was suspended for the first half of today's game versus the Las Vegas Aces. She told them, I don't care if y'all suspend me, I ain't playing anyway. My back hurt. Oh, that's crazy. That is crazy. That's crazy work, Angel. That's crazy work, Angel. I cannot believe she just pulled the wool over their eyes like this. They thought that they was punishing her. And the whole time she knew, y'all can't punish me. I'ma say my back hurt. I'm not gonna play anyway. This season is over.
Honestly, Angel Reese constructed this pyre herself. You cannot, in the high-stakes world of professional sports, declare yourself too injured to compete for your team and then broadcast your vibrant, full-body dance moves to millions of followers. This transcends poor optics. It demonstrates a profound disconnect from the expectations of professionalism. And for those who have followed her career trajectory, this episode, while shocking in its audacity, felt like another chapter in a familiar book. Drama has clung to Reese since her collegiate days, from a contentious transfer out of Maryland, where she cited a need for a coach who would hold her accountable, to a tumultuous tenure at LSU marked by public feuds and whispers of internal team conflict. The playbook seems consistent: talent intertwined with turmoil.
There we go. Okay. So let me stop this. This is Angel right there. This is the friend in the back. And Angel's doing all kinds of hunching and whatever. Got her back in the air, dancing around. Yeah, I've got the... Okay, there's some more dancing. I've got it muted because I don't want to get a copyright on some bullshit song. But there she is, just hours after missing said game with a, quote, bad back.
This is where the comparisons to Caitlyn Clark become not only inevitable, but painfully stark. Clark, the Indiana Fever's phenom, has endured a season of intense physical play. She has been on the receiving end of elbows, body checks, and shoves that would draw penalties in tougher sports. Yet she consistently laces up for the next game. There are no breaks, no excuses, and certainly no dance videos posted from the injured list. The public watches Clark get metaphorically folded in half on national television, only to see her show up the next day, ready to compete again. They see a warrior. Then, they open their phones and see Angel Reese sidelined by injury, but performing for a camera, and they see a spectacle.
Featuring Angel Reese, my favorite person to talk about other than Caitlyn Clark. Let's start with, can we pull up the quotes that she gave to the Chicago Tribune that started all this mess? I've been telling you all that Angel Reese wants out of Chicago. She's a front runner. She's going to, I said this very early in this season, she's going to be looking to exit the Chicago sky. The going has gotten tough. And when the going gets tough, Angel Reese gets going, just ask Maryland.
This juxtaposition is where the narrative becomes excruciating for Reese and her supporters. Defenders often point to her youth as a mitigating factor, but this argument crumbles under scrutiny. Caitlyn Clark is also young. Aaliyah Boston, another cornerstone of the league's future, is young. The entire Fever roster is practically a youth movement. In professional sports, youth is not a permanent shield against criticism for immaturity. It is a test of character. Some athletes rise to the occasion, channeling their energy into their craft. Others appear to crumble under the weight of their own brand building, prioritizing clout over championship contention.
Yo, when are we gonna, get this girl Angel Reese out the league? I mean, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm not, I'm all for women, but she is ass. It's bad, my nigga. It's bad. Bro, there's no way you're this bad. There's literally no way. What did they saw in you that they turned you into a W? What the Angel?
Imagine the perspective of her Chicago Sky teammates. They are battling through the final grueling games of a long season, putting their exhausted bodies on the line, only to later see their star forward, who was supposedly too hurt to join them, dancing carefree on a plane. The eye rolls would be audible from across the country. How can a locker room build trust with a player whose commitment seems so conditional? How can you sacrifice for a teammate who appears unwilling to do the same for you? Even the team's general manager, while publicly supportive, is left to navigate the fallout from a self-inflicted crisis.
At 36, and Angel Reese basically said, hey, look, we can't count on her next year. At her age, coming off that injury, we need someone younger who's ready to win right now, something like that. She just drove a bus over this Vandersloot. Well, people in Chicago, her teammates, read the quotes, saw the newspaper article, and were very upset. And they had a meeting yesterday where Angel Reese had to apologize and start backpedaling. And then I think this is from Front Office Sports reporting about Angel Reese and the reaction and the fallout in Chicago.
More troublingly, Reese's actions appear to be part of a calculated, if not reckless, strategy. She has publicly criticized the team's direction, floated rumors about her desire to be traded, and now deploys the injury but not really injured card. It feels less like a series of isolated mistakes and more like a deliberate campaign to engineer her own exit from Chicago. But other teams are watching this public implosion, and their GMs are undoubtedly asking themselves a critical question: is her talent worth this recurring headache?
Angel Reese is the worst player in the WNBA? Hey, coming from an LSU fan, she won a natty for us. But now she's just All bark, no bite. So what happened? Here's my breakdown on why I think she's struggling. 1, maybe I think the game's just too fast and physical from the college game. 2, maybe she's spending too much time on the internet instead of on the court. 3, obviously she has Caitlyn Clark on her mind. At the end of the day, I think the media is just putting too much pressure on her that she can't perform at her best. Angel Reese, just make us Tiger fans proud. Just do better.
This is where the league itself comes under the microscope. Where is the commissioner in all of this? A clear message from the top that you cannot claim an injury to sit out a game and then publicly flaunt your physical fitness for social media engagement seems warranted. Yet the WNBA, still fighting for its share of the mainstream sports landscape, may secretly welcome the drama. Angel Reese generates clicks. She trends on social media, she gets people talking. In the modern sports economy, that engagement is a valuable currency. So, instead of enforcing accountability, the league's silence can be interpreted as quiet encouragement. But this is a dangerous game. Attention without corresponding production and professionalism has a notoriously short shelf life. Fans will eventually tire of the gimmicks and demand on-court results. If those results don't materialize, the social media spotlight that once felt warm and validating will turn scorching and unforgiving. This is the perilous path from being a star to being a sideshow. Let's be clear. Angel Reese is not without immense talent. She is an athletic force, a rebounding machine, and possesses the physical tools to be a dominant player in the WNBA for years to come. But talent unmoored from discipline is ultimately a wasted gift. At the professional level, everyone is talented. The great players are separated by their professionalism, their work ethic, and their unwavering commitment. Right now, Reese is failing that test in spectacular fashion. Instead of using her time to rehabilitate an injury and refine her game, she is feeding the social media machine. Instead of proving her doubters wrong with her performance, she is handing them a megaphone. It is a textbook case of self-sabotage masquerading as self-promotion. The "she's no Caitlyn Clark" narrative stings so deeply because, in this specific context of professionalism, it rings true. Clark doesn't need a viral TikTok to build her brand. Her brand is built every time she steps on the court. Her highlights, her competitiveness, and her resilience are her content. With Reese, the most viral moments are increasingly tied to off-court controversies. It's a fundamental difference. One player is building the league by hooping, the other is trending for creating a storm